If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. The other day I made a video where I talked about having to back up 5 miles because one of these old forest roads has an obstacle in it that you can't get through, like a downed tree or a puddle. Well, here's a perfect example. If you come in from that direction over there, it's exactly 5 miles. That's not the point of the video, I just wanted to show you. Over the last few weeks, I've made several videos explaining that those who believe that it's cheaper to live in your car, RV, that it's a myth. And I've had a series of videos. One of them was that I have showed how it costs almost $1,000 a month in rent cost to live in a camper. And I'll put a link to that video right here. And this one is what always gets me is, Rob, you're so negative. Well, that one was completely fact-based. It was based on math. Of course, now, you know, people don't want to believe those things, so they say, Rob, you're negative. I remember watching a YouTube video about the Mythbusters. It was a TV show, ran for like 10 years. And he said, you know, they got a lot of feedback saying that they were negative. And so what he said was, we went around destroying a lot of people's belief systems. Well, I think that's what's happening here. Made a video where I talked about water costs, and I tried to make an apples to apples comparison that the water that you buy at Walmart is a lot more expensive than if you were to buy water coming through your faucet at the house. And I'll put a link to that video right here. At the house, we spent $25 a month on water for 2,100 gallons. If we were to buy water out here for 160 gallons, that's what we use per month, it would be $32. Well, people are so adamant that what I say is true, they don't even listen to what I'm saying anymore, because one person replied back, it doesn't matter, you have to understand, Rob, that campers use less water than houses. As a result, your water bill is going to be cheaper anyways. Well, I thought that was funny because I specifically said, right now, our water bill is not cheaper than our house. $25 at the house, $32 out here. So they don't even hear it. Well, I come up with another scenario because somebody even said, Rob, you're not including all your utility bills. If you look at electric, you're going to see that you save a lot more money on electric, whether you're running a generator or running solar panels. Well, once again, that is not a true statement. So I did some math. The average cost of a kilowatt in a house is 12 cents per kilowatt. When I lived in a house, I would use about 1,250 kilowatts. So that came up to a bill of $150. So these folks who say, see, I told you, it's cheaper to live in a camper than it is in a house, we're not looking at the kilowatt per hour usage. In order to live cheaply in a camper, you have to reduce the amount of utilities that you're using. The amount of water, the amount of electric. In order to live cheaply, you have to stop using. So out here, using the generator, for example, I use about 40 kilowatts per month. That is $30 a month that I'm using for my generator on gas. Now, I'm not including how much the generator costs because I just don't know how long the generator will last. So that is 75 cents per kilowatt. So the difference between the house kilowatt, 12 cents, and a RV kilowatt is 75 cents. So of course now the argument is going to be, I can hear it already, well, that's why you need solar panels. Well, solar panels, on the other hand, isn't cheap either. Because using what everybody's told me, that you can buy 300 or 400 watts, whatever, for $500 to get the amount of electric that I need, which is 40 kilowatts. Solar panels, I looked it up just this morning, have an average life expectancy of 20 years. If I were to spend 12 cents per kilowatt in a house, I only use 40 kilowatts, which is what I use out here, my bill would be $4.80. I recognize there's tax. I understand the tax. You'd have to add on the tax. That person that was telling me that a camper uses less utilities. Well, then why don't we just use less utilities in a house, and overall the cost is going to just be cheaper. You know, 11 or 12 cents per gallon of water in a house, or 20 cents in an RV for your water bill. So how can we do this? How can you reduce the cost in your house? Well, this is very simple. When you come out here, you're going to have to reduce things. You just have to take that principle, that idea of reducing your use of things, water, electric, and apply it in a house. How can we do this? Real simple. Shut your water off in your house. Just shut it off. And then do what I do. I carry buckets of water from a spigot to my camper. Well, you can do the same thing. If you just leave your faucet on outside, you know, your water hose faucet, and you can carry your buckets into the house and you start using that water, you're going to get to the point where, you know what, I don't want to carry water. So you start reducing the amount of water. Well, what about electric? How can you minimize the amount of electric in a house? This is simple too. In my RV, I have one plug-in, one standard household plug-in. I plug everything I use into those two receptacles. So do the same thing. Shut off all the electric in your house. Go down to the breaker box, shut them all off except one receptacle. And everything you use has to go into those one receptacle. Right now I have a battery charger and I have a power surge strip that I plug into. So I get about 5 receptacles out of that. So I plug in my laptop, Carolyn's iPad, her phone, my phone, and the jetpack for the internet. Oh, and our refrigerator. And that's all we power in our house. So it is a myth that it's cheaper to live in an RV than it is a house. You just have to start cutting back on the things that you're using in your house, like you're going to do if you live in an RV. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.